Japan doesn't just fix everyday problems, it fixes them so well that most of the world is still living with problems Japan stopped having years ago. Bathroom mirrors that stay perfectly clear rather than fogging over the moment the hot water runs. Showers with unlimited hot water because the system heats on demand rather than slowly draining a tank. And produce that stays fresh significantly longer because Japan solved the science of why it goes off in the first place. These aren't recent innovations. They're solutions Japan put in place years ago that the rest of the world simply never caught up with. Today, we're counting down 15 everyday problems Japanese homes solved years ago. Watch until the end because number 15 covers a silent problem responsible for thousands of deaths every year that most Western homes have no idea even exists. Number 1. Wet shoes after rain. Getting caught in heavy rain is unpleasant enough on its own. What makes it worse is what comes after. You get home, take off your soaking shoes, and leave them by the door where they sit drying for the next day and a half. By morning, they're still damp inside, and you either wear them wet or you're down to your backup pair. Japan solved this with electric shoe dryer inserts from brands including Panasonic and Iris Oyama. You slide them into the wet shoes, switch them on, and they circulate gentle warm air from the inside out, drying the shoe completely in a few hours. Both the interior and the material dry properly rather than just the surface. No more wet shoes the following morning, no more leather deteriorating from repeated soaking, no more choosing between two bad options. It's a small appliance Japan has had for years, fixing a problem that anyone living in a rainy climate deals with regularly and has simply accepted as something you put up with. Number 2. Clogging kitchen drains. Most kitchen drains clog for exactly the same reason every time. Food particles from washing up go down the drain, accumulate inside the pipe over weeks, and eventually slow the flow to a trickle. Then comes the chemical drain cleaner, or worse, the call to a plumber, for a problem that was entirely avoidable from the start. Japan solved this with fine mesh drain basket inserts that sit directly over the kitchen drain opening and catch every food particle before it reaches the pipe. They take a second to remove, empty, and replace. No food reaches the drain at all. The drain never slows, no chemicals, no plumber, ever. Japan has been using these for decades, available at every home store and 100 yen shop for almost nothing. The fact that most Western kitchens still rely on drain cleaner to fix a blockage that a simple mesh insert prevents entirely is a problem Japan stopped having a long time ago. Number 3. Produce going off too fast. You buy vegetables at the start of the week with every intention of using them. By Wednesday, the leafy greens are wilting, the berries are soft, and the avocado that was perfectly firm on Monday is already past its best. It happens every week because most people don't know why produce deteriorates so fast, and nothing in a standard fridge is designed to slow it down. The reason is ethylene gas. Ripening produce naturally releases it, and in an enclosed fridge drawer, it builds up and accelerates the deterioration of everything nearby. Japan solved this years ago with small ethylene-absorbing sachets placed inside the produce drawer that neutralize the gas before it accumulates. The produce lasts noticeably longer. Less goes to waste. The weekly shop stretches further. Japan worked out the chemistry behind why the fridge was failing the vegetables and fixed it with a sachet that costs almost nothing. The rest of the world is still wondering why everything goes off so fast. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's clever, everyday innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones are even smarter. Number 4. Bathroom mirror fogging. The bathroom mirror is useless for the first 10 minutes after every shower. You step out, reach for your towel, and the mirror is completely fogged over. You wipe it with your hand, which smears it, then wait for it to clear while standing there unable to see your reflection. It happens every single day, and most people have never considered that it could be any different. Japanese bathrooms use heated anti-fog mirror panels with a built-in heating element that keeps the glass surface above dew point throughout the shower. Condensation never forms on a surface warmer than the surrounding air. Standard technology in Japanese bathrooms, from brands including Toto, Lixil, and Enax. The mirror is clear when you step out, clear during the shower, clear the entire time. Japan solved this years ago with a heating element behind a piece of glass. The Western bathroom is still waiting for the fog to clear every single morning. Number 5. Running out of hot water. There are few things more unpleasant than a shower going cold halfway through because someone else used the hot water first. Most Western homes run on a tank heater that stores a fixed volume of heated water. Use it faster than it reheats and the tank empties, leaving whoever is last with cold water. It's a system with an obvious flaw that most Western countries have been working around, rather than solving for decades. Japan moved to instantaneous gas water heaters from brands including Noritz, Runai, and Paloma that heat water at the exact moment it's needed rather than storing a limited supply. Because water heats on demand as it flows through the unit, the supply is unlimited. There is no tank to empty, no cold showers mid-wash, no waiting for the tank to reheat, No rationing hot water across the household? The solution has been available for decades. Japan adopted it as standard. Most Western homes are still working around a tank that runs out. Number 6. Staining food containers. Most households have a set of food storage containers that used to be clear and are now permanently orange. One batch of leftover curry or tomato sauce and the plastic absorbs the color in a way that no amount of washing removes. The container looks dirty even when it's clean, and eventually the whole set gets replaced only for the cycle to repeat. Japan solved this with fluorine-coated containers and glass alternatives from brands including Iwaki that resist color absorption from strongly pigmented foods. The coating prevents food compounds from bonding with the container material, so the same curry that permanently stains a standard container washes out cleanly. No permanent staining, no replacing entire sets every year, no container that looks unwashed the moment something flavorful goes inside it. It's a coating solution Japan developed specifically for this problem. The rest of the world is still either throwing away stained containers or using ones that look like they've never been properly cleaned. Number 7. Reaching the back of cabinets. Deep kitchen cabinets have the same problem everywhere. The front half gets used, the back half becomes a graveyard. Things get pushed back during restocking, stay there for months, and get rediscovered only when the entire cabinet is cleared out. Spices that expired, tins that were forgotten, bottles purchased twice because nobody knew the first one was already in there. Japan solved this with pull-out rotating tray systems and lazy Susan inserts specifically designed for deep cabinet spaces. A single puller turn brings everything stored at the back directly to the front. Nothing stays permanently out of reach. Everything in the cabinet is accessible, duplicates stop getting bought, food stops expiring unnoticed at the back. It's a straightforward mechanical solution to a layout problem that every kitchen has always had. Japan fitted the cabinet to how people actually use it, rather than expecting people to work around a design that never made complete sense. Number 8. Rice going stale. Rice seems like it should keep forever, it doesn't. Once the original packaging is opened, air, humidity, and temperature changes degrade the quality within weeks. And in warmer months, insects find their way into improperly stored bags faster than most people expect. Most households either leave rice in the opened bag or move it to a standard container, neither of which protects it properly. Japan solved this with fully sealed airtight rice storage containers designed specifically to protect rice from air, moisture, and pests. Many Japanese versions are sized to fit inside the fridge door, where consistent cool temperature further preserves freshness. The rice stays at the same quality as the day the bag was opened for months rather than weeks. Fresh-tasting rice every time, no insects, no stale flavor after the second week. Japan's rice culture demanded a solution that matched the importance of the ingredient. The rest of the world stores it in the opened bag and wonders why it doesn't taste quite right. Number 9. Not knowing shower temperature. Every shower starts the same way. You turn the tap, put your hand under to test, adjust, test again, and eventually step in hoping it holds. You've wasted water throughout the process, and there's still a chance the first few seconds catch you off guard. It's a daily friction that happens so consistently, most people don't register it as a problem worth solving. Japan put a digital temperature display directly on the shower unit, showing the exact water temperature in real time before you step in. Standard in Japanese bathroom units from Todo, Lixil, and Inax. You set the number you want, the display confirms it's reached, and you step in. No testing with your hand, no wasted water, no scalding surprise in the first few seconds. Japan made the invisible visible by putting a number on the temperature. The rest of the world is still testing the water, with a hand like it's the only option there is. Number 10. Garbage smelling indoors. The kitchen bin smells. Most people accept this and manage it with bin bags, sprays, and hoping collection day comes soon enough. In summer, the smell develops faster and travels further, and no amount of masking it from the outside makes a meaningful difference because the source is inside the bin, building up between uses. Japan addressed this with sealed bin systems and deodorizing inner liners that contain odors at the source rather than managing them after they've spread. The liner seals the smell inside the bag itself, rather than letting it escape every time the lid opens. The kitchen stops smelling like the bin. The odor stays contained between collection days. The problem stops traveling beyond the bin entirely. Japan solved this by treating the bin as a sealed system rather than an open one. Most Western kitchens are still spraying air freshener at a problem they could simply be containing at the source instead. Number 11. Running out of toilet paper. It happens to everyone. You sit down, reach for the roll, and find either a cardboard tube or the last few sheets that won't be enough. Someone was supposed to replace it and didn't, or nobody noticed it was running low, and now you're in the one situation where being caught unprepared is genuinely difficult to resolve. Japan solved this with double-roll toilet paper holders that hold 2 rolls simultaneously. When the first roll empties, the second is already in position and ready to use. The holder keeps a spare in place at all times rather than relying on someone remembering to check before it becomes a problem. You never run out. The spare is always already there. the situation simply stops happening. Japan made this problem physically impossible rather than relying on everyone in the household to stay on top of restocking. One hardware change and the inconvenience is eliminated entirely. Number 12. Pantry pests. Japanese summers are hot and humid, creating ideal conditions for insects that live inside dry goods. Flour, rice, pasta, and cereals are all vulnerable, and the standard response in most households is discovering the problem after it's already happened, throwing away a significant amount of food and hoping it doesn't repeat. It usually does. Japan solved this with fully sealed airtight pantry containers and specific pest-deterring sachets for dry goods storage that create an environment insects can't establish in. The container seals out the surrounding environment, and the sachet handles anything already present in the food before it was stored. No weevils in the flour, no moths in the cereal, no discovering an infestation after the damage is done. Japan's humid climate forced this solution earlier than anywhere else. The rest of the world gets the same insects every summer with none of the preparation, and loses the same amount of food to a problem that a sealed container and a sachet would have prevented entirely. Number 13. Mold around bathroom seals. The sealant line where the bathtub meets the wall is one of the most reliably moldy places in any home. It sits in permanent contact with water, never fully dries, and once mold establishes itself inside the sealant, the only real fix is removing and reapplying the entire seal. Most people never do this, so they clean the surface repeatedly without ever removing the actual problem. Japan solved this with anti-mold bathroom replacement tape that covers the seal joint, prevents mold from forming in the sealant beneath, and peels off cleanly when it needs replacing. Instead of a permanent seal that becomes a mold problem, it becomes a simple maintenance task anyone can do in minutes. No black mold in the seal line, no cleaning the surface of a problem that lives underneath, no reapplying silicone. Japan made the fix as simple as replacing the tape. Most Western bathrooms are still scrubbing the surface of a problem they've never actually addressed. Number 14. Window condensation. Every winter, warm indoor air hits cold glass and condenses. In most homes, it runs down the window and collects along the frame where it soaks into the wall, gradually creating the conditions for mold to develop around the window surround. Most people wipe the glass occasionally and consider it managed, without realizing the real damage is happening at the bottom of the frame where water is pooling unseen. Japan solved this with absorbent anti-condensation strips that sit along the bottom edge of the window frame and absorb the moisture before it drips. The strip fills up and can be replaced before the water reaches the wall. No pooling on the frame, no mold along the wall beneath the window, no gradual damage that compounds across every winter. Japan caught the problem at the window before it reached the wall. Most Western homes wait until the mold is already visible before they do anything about it. Number 15. Bathroom heat shock. Most people step from a warm living room into a cold bathroom in winter without a second thought. Japan noticed what this was doing. When the body moves suddenly from warmth to cold, blood vessels constrict and blood pressure spikes. For older people or anyone with cardiovascular vulnerability, this can trigger a cardiac event. Research connected to Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism has linked thousands of annual bathing-related deaths to this temperature differential. Japan solved it by building the fix into the bathroom itself. Japanese bathroom heater and dryer units include a preheat function that brings the bathroom to the same temperature as the rest of the home before anyone enters. The shock never happens. No sudden blood pressure spike, no cardiovascular stress built into the daily routine, no invisible risk that worsens with age. Japan measured the deaths and engineered the solution into the bathroom ceiling. Most Western homes have never heard of bathroom heat shock, which means they're experiencing it every winter morning without knowing the risk. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe, and make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more everyday problems Japan already solved.